everybody, my name is Emily and I will be taking you through the Couch to 5K app. The basic premise behind Couch to 5K is exactly what it sounds like. The application uses alternating phases of running and walking over the course of 8 weeks to build cardiovascular fitness, culminating in a 5K run. Each of the 8 weeks, as you can see along this bottom scrolling mechanism, is divided into 3 identical workouts, and they're listed as week 1, day 1, week 1, day 2, week 1, day 3, and then so on and so forth. These weeks progressively increase the running time and decrease the walking time so that the user can develop cardiovascular endurance. So, for example, week 1, you can see the total duration is 30 minutes and it starts with a 5-minute warm-up walk. Then you alternate between 1 minute of jogging or running and 90 seconds of walking for a total of 20 minutes, and then you have another 5 minutes as a cool down. Week 1, day 2 is the same, and so is week 1, day 3. But then when you go to week 2, day 1, you see that the duration has changed. It's 1 minute longer. You're still doing 5 minutes of a warm-up walk, but then you have 90 seconds of jogging and running, and then 2 minutes of walking for a total of 20 minutes, plus then your 5-minute cool down. After the 8 weeks, you would run your 5K. You can either run this as a scheduled race or as something to do on your own, especially now since most races are canceled due to coronavirus. In terms of PE class, I think this would be very applicable to a fitness-based physical education setting. In order to allow students to participate who don't have phones or don't have unlimited data, because you do have to have location settings on for this, or even to just comply with school cell phone use policies for students, the educator might have to announce the running and walking periods to the class rather than each student being individually guided by their own smartphone. This, I think, part of the reason that it would lend itself well to PE class is because users can run at their own pace. So users who are more advanced runners in your PE class could run faster, while less experienced students run slower, just based on their needs and experience level. If the educator wanted to assess students based on effort, if it was available to them, they could also use heart rate monitors. I also think that the app could be used for just a portion of the 8 weeks or for just one class if a physical education class has a cardiovascular fitness unit or was just covering running for a short period of time. And the 30-minute duration of the workouts allows for time to change into uniforms before and after class, since most schools have class periods of at least 40 minutes, and if you're doing blocked scheduling, then you would have more than enough time for this. I feel that the appropriate grade level for this application in a classroom setting would be grades 9 to 12, as students do need to be mature enough that they can be responsible for their own progress and effort. Some advantages is that it's a popular program. A lot of students will probably have at least heard of it in passing. It's structured but not overwhelming, so along the bottom here, it's broken into the separate weeks and the separate days, like I said, but there's no real holding you to it. There's no nothing negative happens if you don't do all 3 workouts in 1 week. So if say you alternate days in your school district, so on A days they have gym class, but on B days they have health class, that would end up in a 5-day period. Some weeks you would only have 2 gym classes, but there's no consequence for not doing all 3 workouts in 1 week. It's a good way to build cardiovascular fitness for people of all fitness levels, because you can run at your own pace, like I said before. So it's applicable to a variety of skill levels. The app itself is free, as is for an extension. They have a 10K app, which takes you from the end of this, the 5K, to running a 10K. So you could go to the App Store and get the free 5K to 10K app that's made by the same app developers. The the workouts don't require any additional equipment than what would be required for a typical gym class in terms of just athletic clothes and sneakers you can run in. And as long as students live in a safe area, this app could be used as a distance learning tool where students could upload a screenshot of their run as proof to Blackboard or D2L, whatever your school district uses for distance learning. There are some disadvantages to using the app in a classroom setting, in that unless you're really using a fitness-based PE model or cover cardiovascular fitness as a unit in PE, it would be extremely difficult to fit all 8 weeks into a curriculum, especially if you're doing like a sports-based model or something like that. Though you could just do a portion of the program as an overview. The program itself, to do with a large group of students, would require a lot of attentiveness to make sure that they're putting forth appropriate effort. And running isn't necessarily for everyone. And if you're using this in class, you might have students who can't run due to injury or diverse abilities. So you would have to plan alternate activities for students who can't participate in the Couch to 5K program. So to give you an overview of how the app actually works, I've already done some of these. So if you just go into week 2 and you were to hit start,
Begin your warm-up now.
You'll get the cue to begin your warm-up walk. It'll show you in big numbers the time that you have left in that particular phase. It'll show you your elapsed time, your time remaining. You can hit the right arrow to go forward a
Begin
segment.
running.
And as you heard her, it will tell you to begin running. You skip ahead again.
Start walking.
Starting your next walking phase. If you want to go back, you can go back.
Begin your warm-up now.
Or 2 phases, like I just did accidentally. You can pause your workout. If you decide to end your workout, though, it won't save any of your progress. So you have to confirm that you want to leave the workout. So I've been using this myself for about 4 weeks now, just as a way to stay healthy and active during coronavirus, where the gyms aren't open and you can't really do much in groups or anything like that in terms of group fitness. So I've found this really helpful at the moment. Overall, I do think it's a really good app, and I think it's possible to incorporate at least a portion of the program into just about any school's curriculum, even if it's just for one class period to learn about running as a type of cardiovascular fitness. The design is very simple and user-friendly, and it gives a lot of leeway for people who are just starting out. So overall, I think this is a beneficial tool for learning in health and fitness.